But here's what I want to illustrate to you right now. You know, sometimes as we begin to listen to the voices of fear over and over and over, how you're not going to be healed, how you're not going to make it, here's what begins to happen. I'm going to stand up here. Fear will begin to grow in our lives, and it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden, it's right out in front of you, and that's all you can focus on. That's all you can see is fear, 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 fear.
Wow.
But here's what happens. When you begin to say, okay, I'm not going to focus on this fear, but I'm going to focus on faith, and I'm going to begin to read the Bible. You know, the Word says in Romans, I believe it's 10 and 17, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. So if you want to get less fear and more faith, you've got to hear the Word of God, and that's by reading the Bible. That's by staying tuned in to TCT as the Word of God's coming, because here's what begins to happen. Are you ready for this, guys? Here's what happens. When you begin to hear the Word of God from heaven, see, faith is a gift, and that gift of faith will begin to come down, and faith will crush fear. Just like that. Faith comes down, it smashes fear and pushes it down, and that gives us the victory. But it only comes by hearing the Word of God, and that's what we need. We need less fear and more faith. So you got to keep that in your life and continue to stay plugged into TCT, continue to read your Word, continue to build your faith with this gift that God has given us. And when we do that, man, faith would just begin to rise up inside of our lives. And I'm telling you, that is exciting. That's a great illustration, you know, to remind us that faith will crush fear.